be given the opportunity to personally extend a farewell to the proud soldiers of 1st Infantry Division Forward, and to speak in front of an audience as illustrious as it has been here and today. The tactical mission that 1st Infantry Division Forward had fulfilled in the past was both an important and a unique one. It was part of operational wartime planning to assign these elements as an integral and reliable part of the war of 1st Infantry. Since the very beginning of this relationship in 1981, the various commanders of 1st Division not only have regarded this particular affiliate as a great challenge, but also a stunning example of effective military interoperability and cooperation in their true tradition of German-American friendship. During this period, we have conducted joint operations planning and have brought the level of
General Galvin, General Mrs. Sullivan, General Mrs. Saint, State Secretary Dr. Leuving, who is representing Minister President Teufel, Herr Minister Peterson, Herr Minister Jaeger, Herr Minister Rempel, Oberbürgermeister Haller, representatives from the state and district governments and officials of justice and police of Baden-Württemberg and Bayern, Lieutenant General Talbot, general officers, members of the Consular Corps, and other distinguished guests and friends of the United States Army in Europe, and the 1st Infantry Division Forward, Grüß Gott. Welcome to Schwabenland. Your presence does great honor to the 1st Infantry Division Forward. Admiral Wellershoff and General Galvin and General Sullivan, General Bagger and Oberbürgermeister Haller, I thank you for working through the vagaries of our communication system. May I tell you that my communication officer is named Murphy. But we thank you. We thank you very much for your words of commendation and congratulations to the Big Red One forward. Admiral Wellershoff, the streamer which you have attached to our colors will always remind us of the joint service in NATO by your country and mine, of our mutual sacrifices in the cause of freedom and peace here in Europe, and finally, the successful outcome of the resolute deterrence presented by the NATO allies. The certificate which you have presented to us will remain with us as a reminder. When we are finally inactivated, I assure you it will have a place of honor in our own 1st Division Museum at Cantini, Illinois. General Galvin, General Mrs. Sullivan, it's good to have you back with the Big Red One and in Göppingen. General Bagger, I thank you for your words. The long-standing and unique relationship with Panzer Division 12 is special. We were ready to fight under your command and that of Major General Furch, your predecessor. Interoperability is not easy. It takes work. But in this instance, the challenges of interoperability were under control, having been worked out in planning and in practice. Herr Oberbürgermeister Haller, thank you again for your kind words. The close, friendly relationship between the people of Stadt-Göppingen and the soldiers of the Flugplatz, along with their families, is famous across the United States Army. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, as we depart Göppingen and Böblingen and Neu-Ulm, we will do so with regret that we are leaving our German homes and our German friends. Oberbürgermeister, to you and the Oberbürgermeisters of Neu-Ulm and Böblingen, I say, danke sehr. General Gerber and General Bodov, we greatly appreciate the partnership which has existed between the 1st Infantry Division Forward, the 10th Panzer Division, and the 3rd Division Blindé. On a personal basis, I thank you two and your predecessors, Major General Bose and General de Division de la Presle, for your formal and warm friendship and personal courtesy. Danke sehr. Merci beaucoup. I too compliment the USAR band for its splendid music. Thank you, General Saint, for sending us your band. And to the soldiers of the 1st Infantry Division before us, I commend your appearance. As always, well done. This ceremony of farewell marks the end of an important chapter in the history of United States Army Europe and that of this command. This is the last time that the 1st Infantry Division Forward will be together with all of its battalions. The 1st Infantry Division Forward has served as part of NATO, USAR, and the 7th Corps for over 2 decades. In that time, more than 68,000 soldiers have worn the Big Red 1 and have accomplished every mission assigned to them. During the last 20 years, we have done what all USAR soldiers have done. Trained and we have maintained. Local training coupled with numerous rotations to Grafenwehr and Hohenfels, as well as 14 reforgers, kept us combat ready. We showed that we could cope with the unusual when we deployed to Morocco in 1987 and conducted joint operations with the Moroccan Army. General Bagger has already described the unique aspect of our preparation for war, which probably has lasting relevance. Our planning for and practice of interoperability as a major subordinate unit of the Panzer Division 12 was a forerunner of what may become standard practice in NATO. All of that NATO effort to be ready for war has paid off and has paid off handsomely. Saying one more big job came up. And in late November, we were tasked to assist the United States Army Europe deployment of the 7th Corps to Saudi Arabia by providing some drivers to help offload ships loaded with 7th Corps equipment. Our analysis revealed a need for organizational structure. Our recommendation to employ unit vice individuals in this task was accepted. And in early December, the 3rd Brigade Task Force of over 1,150 soldiers deployed, and on arrival immediately began work offloading ships. The task quickly expanded and the mission grew rapidly until in late December, the 1st Infantry Division Forward was given overall responsibility to receive, house, and deploy onward the 7th Corps units coming from active and reserve components in the United States and Europe. We were told to do everything and anything necessary to rapidly build Jayhawk Corps combat power in the forward assembly area out in the desert. We did that, and we did it in spite of frequent changes in the situation and the occasional Scud missile. In the process of so doing, we took care of over 106,000 soldiers and offloaded over 50,000 vehicles from over 160 ships. And we pushed forward those soldiers, that equipment and those vehicles, including 6,500 tracked vehicles. We stayed until the Corps was ready for war. When we left, General Franks told us that the Corps couldn't have done it without us. The last of the task force returned safe and sound on the 19th of February. A few days later, we watched on television as that remarkable ground attack took place, and we applauded its success. We are proud that we were able to help, and we are thankful that the Big Red 1 soldiers of our military intelligence company, signal platoon, and a number of soldiers with special individual skills who we sent to be with 7th Corps and RCENT units were successful in battle and are safe. We await their return. And while Desert Shield and Desert Storm were going on, the other half of the division forward remained here in Germany and drove on with an activation, with force protection, and with the taking care of our families. Again, the job was done well. Neither the inactivation mission nor the support mission in Southwest Asia were missions that we would have selected. We have always been a fighting unit, and that's the role we wanted to keep. But soldiers can't always choose their mission. Missions are often selected for soldiers. When that happens, there is no time for sniveling, and there is only one expected outcome, and that is success. And that's the way we have approached inactivation and our task here and in Saudi Arabia in support of Desert Shield, Desert Storm. The great regiments represented before you will remain on active service with the 1st Infantry